Oh, yes, yes, right.
Call the meeting to order. I'd ask everybody to join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bruce Brown.
Present.
Kevin Ritchie. Here. Jeffrey Van Horn. Here. Desiree Payton. Yep. Okay. I would now, as the first order of business, open the floor to nominations for office of President of the Town Council.
I'll nominate Roger Hammer.
I'll second that.
Okay. Very good. Okay, we now have a town council president. Congratulations, Mr. President.
I think we need a vote.
You gotta take a vote.
Yes.
I thought they all said okay, that's why I thought that wasn't a vote. I didn't. So it actually has to be a roll call vote, okay, all right. Okay, all right. Roger Hammer.
No, you have to say,
Bruce-
it's
yes.
a vote.
Bruce Brown.
Yes.
Kevin Ritchie. Jeffrey Van Hoy.
Yes.
Desiree Payton.
Yes.
Okay. Now, congratulations, Mr. President. The floor is yours.
So we'll take nominations for vice president. Turn that on. I would make a nomination of Bruce Brown.
Can I ask a question in
We-
the middle of this?
We need to get a second or not
Okay.
first, I think. And we can have discussion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a second. Is there discussion?
Are we able to, if someone wants to nominate another person, are we able to do that before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can have multiple
vote on
nominations,
one
of course,
person?
yes.
Okay. I'd also like to nominate Jeffrey Van Hoy.
Okay. Is there a second?
Can I second myself?
Yes.
Yeah, of
I'll
course.
second.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, let me get caught up.
Are there any further nominations?
So Bart, what you will do is then you would then poll the council first, and it doesn't matter, since Bruce was nominated first, Bruce, see how many votes Bruce gets, and then go on and do the same with Jeffrey.
Okay. Will do. Okay. So the vote for vice president for Bruce Brown, we'll do a roll call vote.
Right.
So Roger Hammer,
Aye.
Bruce Brown,
Yes.
Kevin Ritchie,
Yes.
Jeffrey Van Hoy,
No.
Desiree Payton.
There we go.
Okay. Now for vice president nomination for Jeffrey Van Hoy. We'll do a roll call vote. Okay. Roger Hammer,
No.
Bruce Brown,
No.
Kevin Ritchie,
No.
Jeffrey Van Hoy,
Yes.
Yes.
Desiree Payton.
Oh, yes.
All right, so
She said yes, okay.
Bruce is by 4.
Bruce was, yes,
Right.
4-1, yes. Yeah, right. All right, so we need to talk about board appointments. So we have the board appointments in front of you there. I apologize, I should have probably, well, I guess it's good to discuss it now. So we've got a couple of, first off, let's start with where we have current appointments. Looks like we have some open appointments. So currently, we have Bruce Brown as office, Fire Board, Bruce Brown and Jeffrey Van Hoy, Police, Bruce Brown and Jeffrey Van Hoy, Utilities, Roger Hammer, Desiree Payton. Okay, that's the first group. is anybody desiring to make a change? I mean, as I understand, these are actually my appointments,
They
right?
are.
I get to make these appointments, but I would like input if somebody does not want to be on a current committee. Is there anybody that does not want to be on those committees the way they are today?
No, I think they're just fine.
Okay, all right, next.
Oh, wait a minute, before you leave that, Roger.
Yep.
Would you announce for the purpose of the record that you are reappointing those individuals?
Okay, thank you. I am reappointing the individuals just discussed. Bruce Brown for office, Fire Board, Bruce Brown and Jeffrey Van Hoy, Police, Bruce Brown and Jeffrey Van Hoy, Utilities, Roger Hammer, myself, and Desiree Payton. Okay? Now, other representatives for cemetery, we have Desiree. 911, we have Landon. Chamber Main Street is myself. Planning Commission is Desiree and Jeffrey. Let's stop there. Anybody would request a change
Nope.
in those? Landon, you okay with staying with the 911 advisory? Everybody else
I'm
happy
good.
with those appointments?
Yeah.
Okay. Redevelopment Commission is currently.
Are you making those appointments, Roger?
I am, sorry, I am making those appointments. So cemetery will be Desiree, 911 will be Landon, Chamber Main Street will be myself, Planning Commission, Desiree, and Jeffrey Van Hoy. Okay. Redevelopment Commission, I'm gonna ask Jeff, maybe if you can help me, because I think we'd like to maybe make some adjustments, not in who, but in how they're appointed, because it would maybe make possible some different assignments or election to president, vice president. Do you have a proposal, Jeff?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't necessarily.
Okay, I knew you brought it up, but I wasn't sure if you had a advocating, okay. Okay, can you remind me?
You get three.
Yeah, I have three, I know.
That's two.
So,
It was myself, Cheryl, and Shannon.
yeah, okay,
That you appointed.
okay. So what I will do is I will appoint, let's see, I will appoint myself, Shannon, and Kevin. And then the other two, which would be Cheryl,
Council.
those would be the others would be the council, that's what I was gonna say. So the two others, we would need a motion to reappoint Cheryl Hammer and Jeff.
Akins. Jeff Akins.
Oh,
Yes,
Okay.
Jeff Hakes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
right.
second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you. Okay, next. Hoosier Gym, Kevin Rich. Park Board, Bruce Brown. Happy with that. IMPA Representative, Kevin.
It's fine.
Henry County Economic Development is me. Unfortunately, I do not make it to these meetings near at all recently. So if someone else would like to take that, that is a 7:30, I think, meeting, if I remember right. On the,
30 or 8:30.
it's
in the
like
morning.
7:30, yeah, it's like 7:30, which is,
In the morning?
it's in the morning, right.
And it's once a month, or
Once a month. I'm sorry, I'm
If you're
forgetting
not-
which day it is.
if you're not wanting to, I'd be willing to.
Would you like to take
Yeah.
that? Okay, if you'd be willing to go,
You're not.
I will confirm. We need to get there,
And when is,
and it's just difficult for me to not be at work, so
when would be the next?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So
Sorry, Rich.
I need to appoint them, sorry. Let me be clear. Okay, so Kevin Ritchie is appointed to the Hoosier Gym, Bruce Brown to the Park Board, Kevin Ritchie to the IMPA representative, and the Henry County Economic Development Board will be Kevin Ritchie. All right, and now we have the Fire Board.
Wow.
I'm sorry, this is,
No, it's just. a
we've already
backup
covered it.
sheet.
This is
Yeah,
just
you're
where we
covered.
can add them, sorry. I missed.
Okay.
We'll document those assignments. Thank you, everyone. All right. Next, we have approval of minutes. 12/18 regular town council meeting.
I'll make the motion. We approve the 12/18 regular town council meeting minutes as presented.
I will second that.
All right. Everybody ready for a vote? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right, thank you. Police, public comments. So we have 2 minutes per person. Come up and state your name and your address, and we'll open the floor now. Anyone who would like to make a public comment? Yes, sir. You have to come to the front for us.
You gotta come on,
Come to the front, state your name and your address.
and if you would, spell your last name
And
for us, please.
Okay.
My name is Philip Michael Jackson, address 331 South Madison Street here in Knightstown.
Okay.
I had a couple concerns or questions. The speed limit, why did the rest of the town go down to 25? Madison stayed 30? That's a question I wanted to know. And then
Good question.
15 years ago, October 28th, 2010, me and my brother was involved in a really bad car accident. And 15 years ago, the town of Knightstown said that they would make sure my alley stayed plowed for my brother. The past few years, my dad has had to call Knightstown to get somebody out there to plow it. And they say they don't have the time or they don't have the manpower to do it. That's all questions I need to ask because my brother's 31. Yeah, I know he's old, but he's disabled. He can't do anything. He can't walk. He can't talk. And if an ambulance can't get down the alley, he's stuck without a ride.
So
That's all questions.
that's just a question. That's the only access that an ambulance would have, is that right?
Yeah, I had
Okay.
an accident, or the manhole cover in front of my house. It's loose. There's like an inch gap.
Okay. I
And
saw
every
a post from you, I think,
Yeah.
on Facebook
Every
about that.
time
Okay.
anyone goes over it, it pops.
Yeah.
It shakes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
we've got a
worried
few
about other
that are
cars
loose
if
like that. So-
something happened.
Can I ask which alley is it? Between what two cross streets?
That new housing addition they built over there a couple, like 6, 7 years ago.
Uh-huh, Trotter's Court.
It's the alley, when you turn on 3rd Street off of Madison, it's that first alley, you turn right. That
So it's
first
not
alley.
on Madison Street, is that
No,
what you're
it's
saying?
off of 3rd,
Oh, it's off of Third.
but my address is on Madison.
Okay, I know where that is. I used to live down that way. So it's the
old all
one
way up and
on the
down.
north side
Oh,
or the
south.
south?
South.
So it's behind, kind of next to
Yeah.
Trotter's Court,
It's
Right.
down
on the
there,
east side of Trotter's
what
Court,
was your
right?
last
Okay,
It's on,
okay,
my house
West
is,
side.
the cell barn's down here at the bottom of the hill, or the grain bin.
okay, great.
My house is like right here, on
Okay.
top of the hill.
Okay,
But it's the first, it's
Kinda-
that big white house as you're going down the hill, it's the last one on the left side.
mhm.
Oh.
It's old, it's been there for over 100 years. It's just questions, it's not to blast anyone or get anyone in trouble, it's just
Yeah.
questions, concerns.
Thank you, thank you. I've got a note here. We'll definitely try to help with that. All right, thank you. Any other public comments? Nope. Going once, going twice? Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move to the police report. Landon?
Short report for you tonight, I think. Of course, we never know, but thank you. I thought I'd go over a few numbers for 2025. 2025, we took 2,334 calls for service. We did 740 security checks, 2,735 traffic stops, 966 tickets, 412 of those were warnings, and we had 153 arrests for 2025. So the guys have been pretty busy. This month, we have a total patrol hours of 1,014.25 hours. Calls for service this month up a little bit for 222 calls for service. Security checks, 79. I'd like to see those numbers a little higher, but we've been busy at night apparently. Traffic stops, 290 traffic stops since our last board meeting. Tickets issued out of those 290 stops, there were 107 tickets issued, 53 of those were warning tickets, so. School bus patrols are 9. I'd like to see that number up a little bit too, but it seems like we get busy every morning at school bus time and in the afternoon. I approached you last month about the golf carts, and I noticed it's on the agenda, so we don't have to talk about it now if you want to wait and talk later. Michaela put the sample inspection form that I'd like to use in your packet, and I had sent an email about my suggested fees for that. But I'll go on. Gallons, 653 gallons of gasoline. We had 21 arrests. Some of the typical ones, several people driving around, they never had a license. We had possession of a controlled substance. In this case, it was pills. Habitual traffic violators, possession of marijuana, alleged drug possession, probation violation warrant, another operating while never having had a license. There's an OVWI operating while intoxicated, possession of marijuana, driving while suspended, just more of the same there. One different one was leaving the scene of an accident, which also happened to be a drunk driver. So 21 arrests, that's up a little bit. Reserve training is in progress. They're in the FTO phase. They're out there riding with the cars. Yes.
What is a legend drug?
A legend drug it's a prescription drug for everybody else, and if you have that and you don't have a prescription for it, that's just what they call it. I think. Does that sound right to you? Right? Okay. Simple way to say it. But all the new reserves are working very hard in the FTO program to try to get their training done as quickly as possible. And the full-time guys are doing a good job with having them along and including them in everything, and it's going along pretty well. The awards dinner, thank to each one of you that came to that. It was pretty cool. We passed out a lot of awards, ate a lot of good food, thanks to Roxanne. She made our meal that night, but it was really a spectacular evening, and I can't wait till next year now. That was fun. But again, thank you for those of you that took time to come. And that's all I have. You have any questions for me?
Citizens Police Academy again?
I would like to do it, start yesterday, but I haven't. We've had so much stuff on our plate, but sometime between now and spring, before spring is over, we'd like to do another one. So if you can help us pass the word. We'd like to have 20 students this time, but it's really a good time. It's fun to teach, so sometime soon.
Okay.
You can help motivate me to do that.
I also had a question. So I seen that Captain Davis and two of the other officers, I can't remember their names, I'm sorry, have decals on the front of their vehicles.
Yes.
Is Devin getting an option to get one on his car too? Or
Yes, I've opened that up to everybody. And Austin, his mother had breast cancer, so he wants breast cancer awareness on his car. And Devin has not told me anything yet, so he's thinking very.
Yeah, he's still designing it.
Yeah.
okay.
Do you know
I
the
just wondered.
topic, or is that a surprise?
Not yet, because he was torn between a couple.
Okay. So I think it's pretty neat. It's really a big PR thing. People are happy with those. We get lots of comments. So I hope I have you guys' blessing to continue that program. So thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you. And somebody else needs this, so I'll leave it set up.
Okay.
All right, I think.
All right, next we got Works Manager.
What's that?
Works Manager. Are you finished? You're
Oh, I'm
finished, right?
yes,
Yeah. Okay, Elvis. Elvis is substituting for Randy while he's out.
Yeah, we have a couple issues that we had fixed this week. We had a leak on 109. It actually was a service line. Turned out also not just a service line. It was a 6-inch main that was cracked. Lucan's got that fixed for us. Our what we pump a day went down 100,000.
Yeah, I went through there. That was a lot of water
Yeah,
on the roads.
So that was
And if
good.
it had still been there now, it'd have been ice, right? It would have
Yeah.
been bad.
Oh, yeah.
So
So I had.
appreciate you guys
salting
getting that fixed.
I think it was Monday morning for them, so that people wouldn't slide into them. Then we had a leak out at the sewer plant. They got that fixed today.
They did, good.
Yeah, they'll go back tomorrow and fix the hydrant.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Crack, crack there. Right?
Yep. More water is down at the plant. The transmitters aren't reading each other. So I'm having to do it by hand. The well is being turned on and off by hand to run. Anywhere from 5 to 6 hours, you gotta go down there and turn it on, turn it off. The transmitter should be here Tuesday. That's all I'm waiting on is for Don
Okay,
Quack.
so that's what went down
Yeah.
with the storm.
It damaged the actual transmitter
So-
at the wells.
Yeah. So just to
Yeah.
mention this,
I've got Rick.
let me just mention something real quick about that problem we had last weekend, I guess it was.
Yeah.
With the, Friday, was it Friday?
Friday.
Thank you. The, so when, the fire that happened that morning, as far as we know, had nothing to do with the well
No, no,
pump
no, no.
going down.
Right.
It had nothing to
Yeah,
actually do.
so
It
the
just-
storm caused the controllers on the pumps to go out. So I talked to Jeff Lane about this
Yes.
in depth. So that's the problem we have, right? The
Right.
controllers
when
need
that
to be,
quit,
one of them at least needs to be
Then they
replaced.
started taking water from the hydrants that took all of it from the tower.
Yeah.
And then sucked our
And then
clear
all of a
well
sudden,
dry.
yeah.
Right.
And
Plus the leak.
water
Then we had a
You
leak,
know,
right.
so-
leak on 109 didn't help.
Didn't help that, yeah.
No. But that's fixed now, and I'm just waiting on a transmitter to get the actual well going back on,
Yep.
back
Okay,
up.
good.
So all that should be good here by next week, so. And then for the cemetery, we've had 4 funerals. Other than that, IMPA come in, we had some outages due to some trees. They've actually cut back some trees also, to get them out of the lines.
Okay.
So, everything's running pretty good for now.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Nope, all right.
Thank
Real
you.
quick, if I could say a comment, I want to thank the girls in our office. I mean, they did a wonderful job. Friday was probably one of the most,
yeah.
Elvis, not,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were there a lot doing, and it was probably one of the most trying, so.
Yes, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Roxana,
Yeah,
Katie,
thank
Lisa,
you.
Michaela, they did an excellent job. I heard a lot of the phone calls,
Yep.
and they weren't very nice, some of them.
No.
Yeah, I
Some of
mean,
those
And
people aren't very
Katie-
pleasant.
but let me just say,
But she kept her she was everybody was very professional,
Yeah.
and I really
thank you
appreciate
for
that.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not
that's
a
hard to
fun
do.
time to get up, get ready to go to work, and you have no water, right? So we experienced that, we all experienced that. And so we all understand that's not what we want, right? So,
And I'd just like to add, well, I'll second what Bart said about everybody in the town. I know there were a lot of comments on social media, but I can't speak for the fire department, but I am kind of, and just to reiterate that the normal, a fire of that magnitude normally wouldn't deplete the waters of the town. That it was quite a coincidence that these two things happened at once. So anyone,
There's actually 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
was
had-
the leak at the
and
same
the
time?
leak,
It was
Yeah.
leaking.
Okay,
It
we
was
didn't,
Yeah.
leaking, it just hadn't showed
just
itself.
hadn't shown up
Leak.
yet, okay.
Yep.
The leak
So-
plus the fire plus the
Yeah.
communication.
So it
was-
decided to Friday.
so not only did the town do everything they could to fix the issue, the fire department's use of the town's water or any water had nothing to do with the resulting loss of water. And that was a lot of misinformation
Yes.
around that.
A lot of
So,
speculation.
a lot
by
of
people who didn't have a
speculation.
clue.
correct. And blame,
Yeah.
which didn't
I
need
was
to be
told they used less water
Thank you.
at my market than they did on the house at
I-
Morgan and
That's what
Washington.
I heard. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I would also like to say, because I sat in the office, me and Bruce did that day, because I couldn't good work. So I do want to say that I'm super proud of the girls. They really did handle it really well because I offered to go answer some calls if they would like. Elvis, I want to say thank you because I saw you out the other day. It was freezing cold that day when you guys were trying to fix that main, and you guys were out there just rocking it. And I just want to say thank you. You did an amazing job. I'm super glad that it's fixed. It is like right down from my house too. So I was like, I have no water. So thank you.
Thanks for filling it, Elvis. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Very good job.
Okay, thank you. So actually, I will say one more thing about Madison Street. I did drive down there. It's got a few issues. It's not horrible, but I do think we should look at our streets and include that as one of our options, if not the option, for our yearly CCMG, which is where we go get grants from the state to resurface, repave roads. I think that one actually is a good candidate for that. And as many of you may know, we are working to hire a new engineering company, and I hope we'll do that tonight to make that decision. And as we get started, CCMG will be one of the very early things that we want to make sure we're getting prepared and getting our documentation in for that grant. It's a very important grant. One thing that we determined last year was that in the future, we're going to make sure to include sidewalks. I know there's people have been commenting about sidewalks, and we know we have major problems all over town with sidewalks. And we do have a way to deal with those, but it obviously does include both the town and the homeowner to contribute to that. But my point was, I think that's one of the streets, if not the street, that we want to consider. All right, next order of business, we're up to new business. Utility locates, this is an issue, we said needs a protocol. This is an issue that came up recently where there's a need to make sure that we have someone to do locates for Knightstown, particularly for power, but also for other things, I think.
And one other thing I found out is I had called IMBO when we ran into the situation where somebody, the guy who worked for Centennial Gas, I think, and Center Point.
Center Point, right.
But that's why he wanted that locate done. And when I talked to Mike Adams at IMBO, the engineer, I mean, he said that they don't do locates. I thought, well, sometimes they have in the past. And so I thought, but I understand that that's not their protocol. So I asked if we could use the money in the dedicated services fund for that, because I thought that could be useful, because that's our money that we had built up in a cumulative, like almost like compound interest. And he said, correct, that is your money, but you cannot use it for those types of things. And then he said we would have to hire a company to come out and do the locates. So, I mean, it's kind of just seems odd. He said, yeah, they'll repair the lines, they'll do everything else with the lines, but they won't locate the lines. So.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's also probably a very expensive thing to have them do. They're not an expensive group to work with, right? So do you have a solution? Do you have an option for that? Have you?
Other than the actual, yeah.
Okay.
These two companies.
Bloodhounds, that's who they use.
Right.
Have we contacted them yet? I know you probably haven't had much time since.
The guy was down there. We actually ended up using John's, I can't remember the name of that company. What was the name of the company? We got his bond in his W-9 and we got all that stuff.
So can we
He did a
get
good job.
some quotes for doing this and
Yeah.
find out how they contract or at least
Yeah.
become
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah.
preferred vendor maybe that we call
Yes.
and find out what the costs are?
It's just
Yep.
for the underground electric.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Seems like that's what nobody
A lot
wants
of
to do.
times it's just common sense. You look where the pole is and where the service is on the house and you,
But we need to be able to provide that service.
yeah.
I'm not sure why you're just considering electric, because water.
I agree.
And sewer and stormwater
We can
all
look
need
at
to
that
be,
already.
so,
But we can locate that because we have people knowledgeable.
okay.
We won't always have people knowledgeable, right? I mean, Randy knows where this stuff is. Rick, can help. But
I just didn't know you.
we have been able to do that. But I agree. I think we should
At least get an option.
get
as
an
to width
option
and the
so
top.
that, and make sure that we have the documentation. Particularly when we do locates, let's make sure that locate is on the documentation correctly. Okay? All right, anything else on that? Nope. Okay, next is cemetery mowers.
You have 3 quotes in your packet. Elvis asked, so Bendel basically told us when we called them to come get the mowers, that if we wanted new mowers next year, it was gonna be $14,000 a piece. They weren't gonna honor the
Well, they weren't gonna do that
setup.
plan
Yeah,
anymore. Okay.
they weren't gonna honor that.
Wow.
So Elvis had asked Michaela for help in obtaining quotes for rear discharge instead of the side discharge mowers.
Good idea. That
So
sounds-
you have a quote from Grasshopper, you have a quote from Bobcat of Anderson, and then you have a quote from Koenig. Each one of them is roughly the same mower, obviously different brands, but the same type of mower. So you're looking at the same, apples to apples here when it comes to that. Your cheapest is the Koenig for the John Deere.
So I have a question. We already asked them to come and get the mowers?
We
Or-
did, and they told us that it would be $14,000 if we wanted new mowers.
Okay,
next
so in other words, we own those mowers
We own
now.
those mowers.
And we
So
need
that was what Elvis was
to
gonna-
decide what to do with them. Are these mowers completely useless or what? Okay. Hours, yeah. Okay. Okay,
It's just the complaints we get for the grass being blowed on
right.
the stems.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yep.
need to go back to rear discharge.
Yep.
We can look at trade-in.
Very good point.
Elvis did talk to Grasshopper, but they never sent me the
Okay.
trade-in for the mowers. So we can look at trade-in, or as Elvis was talking to me about, the mower at the water plant, I guess, is really, really old, so we could potentially take at least, wasn't it the water plant? Yeah.
Oh.
At the water plant is really old, so we could potentially keep one of them at least to have down there at the mower, or at the water plant. So we have options as far as that's concerned.
Well, and we've got 3, and there's 1 at the sewer plant. And there's 2 at the cemetery, but we could take the best one from the cemetery and move it to the water plant.
Or water, you're saying?
That motor's blown up.
The tractor? Oh. The Z,
And he also said that if we needed, they would trade it in or what have you.
okay.
But also, if we wanted to keep one of those, one of the Ferris, and then trade in the Ferris and that John Deere.
Bart, do we have the funds for that?
That's what I was, I believe in cemetery, which we would only use in the cemetery. Primarily, is there any other place?
I mean, 2 of them are pretty much full-time in cemetery, right?
Cemetery has, we can only give you the cash balance right now as of December 31st. I don't have an appropriation for it. But cash balance in the cemetery fund right now is $134,695.25.
Okay.
So $134,000. That quote, yeah, we have the funds.
So personally, I'd like to see us get a quote with the trade-in.
Okay.
If we can get, and I like personally, we need to vote, but I like the idea of keeping one and using it in the other locations. But let's see what we can do with the ones we're not using and get a little money out of those. Hopefully, best case. We do have one of these companies moving in next door.
That's what I
So,
like.
I don't-
They're investing a lot.
What?
They're investing a lot.
They're
here.
investing a lot. I'm not saying we should pay a lot extra for them. I
Yeah.
didn't-
actually, they're
They're
the
actually
cheapest.
your
They're a better
cheapest
price,
one.
right.
They're
Yeah.
And they're
investing
gonna
a
be
lot
close
here.
by, right? So,
Yep.
let's make sure we get some pricing and, obviously we got some time with the winter still going
Yeah.
on for a while.
Spring's like 60 days away, so
Yep, next month.
I wouldn't,
we should make a
I'd do it
decision.
next month. I wouldn't wait, because I don't know if they got them in stock.
Time to get them.
You order them and they say, well, we're looking at a 90-day
Yeah,
lead
that would
time,
be-
then
I guess we use what we got until we get them, if we have to. Okay? I'm asking, I guess.
yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No, I agree to table it till next month, get a little more information
See what kind of trade.
on what we can get rid of.
But being that we can take it out of sewer as well.
Yep.
That's good. Divide between sewer and cemetery. That's much better.
No. Yeah. Yeah, what I would propose, if we're gonna shift one, we should get a price, a value of it, and sell it to the sewer utility, right? I mean, that's what you do, right?
Don't sewer already have one?
Because
Water.
We're calling water.
Oh, water, I'm sorry, we'd sell to water.
because one's a utility and one's out of the general fund, so it's
Oh.
like Ghostbusters, you can't cross the stream, so you would have to do.
We would
what
need
you
to
said,
sell it,
you
you're saying.
gotta
Yeah,
sell
that's what I
it.
thought, we need to sell it. Okay. Anything else on mowers? All right, if not, we have an amended salary ordinance. This was out of our last meeting.
What I did, the only thing I did was for the appointments for temporary works manager. So I amended the salary ordinance, and it would be salary ordinance number 011526 for tonight.
Yep.
And I just wrote the words in there, actually, that it's a line item, and just, that was the amendment, to give a dollar raise to Elvis for filling in that technical
Yep.
position. And he's cemetery foreman, so I just put that word in there, line item, $1 per hour raise, and appointment of 2 employees as temporary works managers and effective retroactive as December 18th, 2025. But then I put at the bottom that the second appointed Tech 1 employee is no longer.
No longer with us, right, yeah.
So I had to put it that way because actually that was the real appointment, so that's okay. I did that, and then I just put on there that he's the second, doesn't belong to this town. I put that word in there as well. Elvis is actually, he was cemetery foreman, so cemetery foreman / Tech 1 employee would be his title for this. But then, when he goes back from works manager, if not, it's temporary works manager. But yeah, as far as titles.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve salary ordinance 011526.
First reading, yeah.
I will second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the salary ordinance adjustment on first reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Do we want to pass this tonight? And suspend the rules? I think we would need to. Do we have a motion to suspend the rules?
I will make a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second. Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin,
Give
seconds.
it to Kevin.
All right, all in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. All right, do we have a motion to pass on second reading? And we need a second reading first, I guess. Give us a second reading, Bart.
Okay, sorry, give me just a second here. It is salary or amended salary ordinance number 011526.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
And a second. Anyone?
I will second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to amend the salary ordinance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. It's a minimal extra, but we appreciate your efforts. Thank you. All right, let me. Oh, okay. All right. Mr. Dobbins, presentation on cemetery discussion. So just to give a little background, Mr. Dobbins came last month and asked to present. We didn't really have him on the agenda. I asked him to come back. And I would just say that I appreciate the fact that you have an idea and are bringing it to the council, whatever happens tonight. I would encourage anybody who has an idea of, something that will help Knightstown, if it entails something the council could do, bring it. Doesn't mean we're going to agree with you or we're going to pass it, but we appreciate the input.
Sure.
Go right
I
ahead.
understand. So if I could borrow your cable here. Is that just the?
Landon.
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 What's that? Sorry.
He needs a connection. Different kind of cable?
You want this HDMI cable?
Yes, I got an HDMI to this little guy here. This one will work for me.
I was deeply entrenched in some.
Oh, you're good. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, you guys are a little familiar. I was kind of cleaning up an area down there at the cemetery, a few months ago. And then as I was sitting in my bulldozer, I kind of came up with this idea that I've kind of seen work in other places that's real similar here. So so I kind of threw together a presentation to share with you guys. So what this is it's a green cycle plan. So what a green cycle plan is you take organic materials from around the town or contractors, and instead of throwing them away, you recycle them and you sell them. So you repurpose them. For instance, when you guys have oh, if I can get my thing to pull up here, like a spring cleanup, and you got all your leaves and your trees and everything you clean up from the town. What do you do with them? So if you put them in a place to compost, and they go to waste, they're not really worth anything. So anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking. So that's kind of the introduction here. So Knightstown's limited recycling options for construction materials and organic waste presented an opportunity for improvement. A dedicated recycling area would provide a structured solution, enhancing the current and formal process, at the site of the cemetery. This project aims to develop a regulatory facility that benefits the community as well as the environment. I kind of named it Green Cycle. The primary goals would be to maintain a clean and safe environment, to dispose of these materials, protect the area and deter from any unauthorized dumping, create additional revenue streams for Knightstown, oversee and control dumping activities of organic materials, implement a entry log, an entry system along with billing procedures, so you can charge the people. So this is kind of what's going on here, and if you look here, you kind of zoom in, and when I came across this site, it was hard to even walk through it, let alone get a piece of equipment and drive through it. But it wasn't bad. I mean, you're talking, it's organic material, so it's things that can be recycled. It's trees, it's limbs, it's concrete, so you can even repurpose concrete in a way that would be beneficial. So to give you an idea, if you were to take a triaxle of concrete and repurpose it, instead of it being a $1,000 liability, now it's an $1,100 pile of stone. So same thing with trees and limbs here. So these, if you charge $30, $40 or whatever to have someone dump it, well, not only is that a revenue stream, that $30 or $40 could be turned into a triaxle of mulch. So, a triaxle of mulch now is another $1,100 to $1,500. Just rough numbers on what I'm used to paying for materials. But all this could be turned into that, is kind of what I'm getting at. All this stuff here. And you see, you got the area, but this is just kind of what we were, what you're dealing with. And this was over time, and it's just really people's cleanup, and where do you put it in a town of this size? You got to put it somewhere. Where would they take it? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know off the top of my head. So yeah, these are just more pictures. So that's the end of that one. So how do we do all this cleanup? So this is the cemetery site, and there's an area behind it. It's a pretty good sized chunk of land. There's some cleanup that could be done to it, but the cleanup that's there could be reproduced into what I'm talking about. So to get there, we're going to need some equipment, which we have. JD Maintenance is my company. And I wish I could say that we don't have everything to do outside, but anything that you're going to do to a building or a property, we own it. From cranes, triaxle dump trucks, loaders, bulldozers, lighting, soil pulverizers and material makers, excavators, turning the world or the earth into money is what I do. So, my grandma told me I'd never make any money playing in the sand. So if she could see me now. So anyway, so these here, this is like a soil processor. So as people bring unclean dirt, or say you're milling roads, you know, so we'd stick that into a power screen. So when you stick that kind of material that's trash into a power screen, it'll screen it, vibrate it, run it up a conveyor. You know, right here, here's the site. This is actually at my house. So I cleaned up an area that was an old railroad track and turned it into where I work. So, and then instead of disposing of that dirt, I turned it into money and paid for my shop with free dirt that I already bought. You know, it was on the ground. So you load it up here where you see the front end loader, and it goes into what you call a grizzly. It breaks it up, and then it goes into a shredder, comes out here, and here at the end where it V's, it's a screen machine. So now it'll shake and it'll screen. It'll throw the trash forward. It'll put stone to the right, and it'll throw pulverized dirt to the left. So to give you an idea, whenever you can get pulverized dirt, it goes from $200 a triaxle load to $1,400 a triaxle load. So this is what this machine does. It times your material by, you know, almost tenfold is what it can do. So, so yeah, just an idea. So it's on a big semi trailer. So when you pull up and you're there to screen dirt, they know you're there. So now this piece of machinery, it is a tub grinder. So I own a few of these, and we send them down south to work hurricanes. So as disasters happen and you have all those trees, what do you do with them? They were burning them. The government was taking these trees and piling them up and burning them. Well, that's pollution.
Right.
So in this case, what we would do is we'd rent them these machines. You can see you put an operator in this one to the right. Then you have the crews that are coming that were burning them before. They're still piling them up like they were before, but now instead of causing pollution, we grapple them up, throw them in a tub grinder, and then now we're making money for the community or material for them to help, you know, a burden to rebuild their home. So they were giving this stuff away versus a pollution. Now, when I say this is a tub grinder, it'll eat 2,000 feet of tree per minute.
Wow.
If you know, before with products like this, you wouldn't know what to do with the stumps. This will eat them. Watch your fingers. But so this is what these will do. So this is equipment that we already own as well. I've got one home right now. I'm going to retire it. But instead of retiring it, I feel like I could park it in a facility like what I'm talking about, and it's going to last forever. It's got a 500 horse Cummins engine. It's all up to safety par, etc. But instead of unloading it, I feel like it would be a good asset to turn trees and debris into money. So that's how we'd get there as equipment. And also, so this is kind of how we're done after we started cleaning up. Everything cleaned up can still be pulled back in, and it can be mulched. And then also at the end of it, you can clean it and screen it, and you're going to have.
You said you did clean this area up?
I did.
Okay. And where's that material?
So the material is on the edge of your properties
Okay,
here.
so you moved it off the main areas.
Yeah, so now you
But
have.
it hasn't been mulched or anything?
It has not been mulched or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so as we're moving all this material, I'm like, man, there's a lot of money here, So on days that you were having town cleanup, they were knocking out, I haven't even got to the rock crushing, but as they're tearing out sidewalks, this material can be ran through a similar machine that I do have one, and we could throw sidewalks in it and produce gravel. So as you're doing pipe cleanup and debris or big leaks around that pipe, you have to put stone. So instead of paying $27 a ton or $23 a ton, whatever your price is, you would already have it. And it could potentially save a lot of money. So when you're redoing streets, you won't have to have a contractor put stone even in his bid, because people will bring concrete to crush it, and it'd be a product that you would already own. You could sell it to yourself, like you're selling it how you were just explaining with the mowers. So that's just kind of showing you. So what we did here is we just came in with a bulldozer. I kind of sorted the material. I put the concrete where the concrete could go, and I put the wood where the wood could go. You know,
Question while you're there.
Yeah.
While you were doing this, did you find anything that was environmentally concerning?
So what I found was bags of trash. I've also seen bags of leaves. You know, there was instance where I parked my bulldozer has a surveillance on it, and I saw somebody dumping things that they probably shouldn't have. I don't know what exactly it was, but it was trash bags. So, you know, when someone can just go in anywhere at any time, it happens. You know, we can take a drive down 40 and we'll see tires on the side of the road a bunch. They'll do it in broad daylight, but now if they have a place they can pull back into, then who knows what they get rid of. But yeah, I mean, the most concerning thing to me I saw were some shingles, you know, and I know where they're at. So what I'm proposing is if we set up these machines or a machine here and start sorting through material, you know, we're going to start pulling this stuff back out. I believe that it's going to make 100% enough money to clean up, but you know, and there will be a dumpster there if someone wants to, or if they're trying to unauthorized dump it. You know, on this site, we're going to have, which I'll show you on my next slide here, we'll throw up some security. The first time someone unauthorized and dumps something that they're not supposed to, that is not organic and not recyclable, they're going to get a fine. If it happens again, it's not going to happen again. So, you know, once a mistake, two is you're doing it on purpose. You know, so my shop from there, we're 5-10 minutes up the road. If you throw a Starlink here and some blink cameras where everyone has access and it dings, you're going to know, you know, with, you know, kind of what I'm going to show you here too, we'll have an app. You'll scan in, scan out with a phone. And as you do that, it's going to, you know, you're going to know it's going to know what you have. So if you just set a price. So like a dump trailer, or the price of what it costs to dump it, it's not really going to be relevant as long as you're getting something. It's the product that you're going to make out of it. But, you know, so it's hand over fist. It goes both ways. So, you know, so the plans for launching a plan like this is turn this place into a revenue maker and achieve future goals, plans, and maintenance. It could help pay for maintenance, not only for the cemetery, but you guys could dish it out in other places. You know, so first would be to secure the place. You know, as far as an entry goes, I would think you would want it to be off of the road to the west of the cemetery and that back gate. But you'd put a security gate in there, and you want to run fence all the way down, you know, adjacent to this road. And the gate, it's going to have scan tags and an app that will log entries and exits. And billing that would correlate with a program that we use, QuickBooks. So it'll automatically generate invoices in whatever manner we tell it to, or agree to, or, you know, however it would work. You know, the strategy would be not only to maintain the site, but also improve it. Use the site to generate revenue for projects for the different needs of the town and the cemetery. Design to lay out the yard and separate and sort different materials. You know, rules will be given to each account, given entry, you know, of what's allowed to come in, what's not allowed to come in, and then the consequences of bringing things that aren't, you know, you don't get rid of shingles even at a dump for free. There's an added amount, but absolutely wouldn't take any kind of material like that. That needs to go to Buster's or to, you know, Waste Management, where they know what to do with that kind of material. But you know, speaking with them, we would have a dumpster on site. You know, so as we're excavating and taking away these piles that are already there, we'll just get rid of the stuff that's not supposed to be there. You know, whatever's there or not there. So, so the launch, the billing would take place daily, weekly, or monthly. Like a disbursement can happen each month at a council meeting, or you know, whatever. We're far off from that, but what I'm saying is, you know, whatever would be agreed to wouldn't be a big deal. Everything is easily accessible. You could do quarterly reports, and this is something that QuickBooks would put together, and you could even, with your scan in, scan out tags, you could even put on what kind of materials are coming in. What's the need for processing other kinds of materials. So, there would always be quarterly or monthly or, whatever kind of reports needed to be generated. And this would be an example of counting, tree debris, concrete, asphalt, lumber, miscellaneous. Asphalt millings are great for base for future projects. It's when you guys redid the roads and you put those millings back, that's going to make a great base to do anything. It'll even make good roads for the cemetery. As you put asphalt in and you roll it and you compact it, you got a road again. A pretty nice road. So that's just an example of what this app can do. So how do we get there? And I was just proposing that we would cover, if we were a partner in this or however, that JDE would cover any upfront costs, gates, signage, fencing, cameras, internet, the program. We would supply the equipment to improve and maintain the site. And then the pricing doesn't so much matter. It would have to be something that everyone was happy with, at $30 a load just to dump it. But I believe that $30 is going, you think tenfold every time somebody dumps, because they're dumping treasure. They're bringing you money. For our services, I believe half is good. But now what JDE would do is we would cover our insurance. We would have like a pollution insurance. We already have a $2 million policy on that. Mm-hmm. So there's other things that would go into it. The legalities of it all. But pretty much I have already what we would need, and I would just have to add the site onto our plan. So there'd be full transparency with everything coming in and coming out of that property. On average, since we were cleaning up the area, there was anywhere from 8 to 13 loads a day coming in from, now that you guys were busy, you're cleaning up sidewalks and there was storms and tree debris, but I spent a month there. So when you're talking, 13 loads a day at $30, and then we're going to multiply it and turn it into a construction material, it's a ton of money that's potential that could be made. So the equipment is needed to maintain the area to keep it functioning and flowing. When we started the project, there was little to no room or even access because of it was limited. When you don't have what you need to clean it up, then it just piles up. So I think that was the big thing. When I first got there, it was just piled up because there's no plan. So. If this idea was approved, I believe we could give it some time and it could really be a revenue generator. I could pop out numbers that I know in my head just based on the month that I was there. They're pretty good. But implementing more ideas and plans to generate even more money with these different tools would be a big help. This is just an example of insurance. JD carries a pretty substantial amount of insurance. I think we have $7 million in total liability coverage. Pollution is one of our things from work that we do. 100% I want to be covered, and whoever's property that I'm working on, I want them to be covered. So whether we lease the area and came up with a deal, or if we went in and just put you guys as a certificate holder, however, I'm willing to accommodate because I see the potential of the site. So this is just an example. So we would just maintain insurance for builders, contractors, risk pollution, and we have a $5 million umbrella for anything that, you don't know what happens, So anyway, it's good to have good insurance. So the summary, I know I've taken up a lot of your guys' time here trying to run through this, but our objective is to establish a long-term maintenance plan for the site. Following this comprehensive cleanup initiative, to achieve this, we propose to implement robust security features, including gated access and surveillance cameras, designed to deter and prevent unauthorized dumping. Additionally, a scanning system would be integrated at the entrance points to monitor and record all entries and exits. This system will enable us to track activity, correlate it with specific accounts and generate invoices on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, thereby ensuring the site's ongoing security and financial stability. And then that's my presentation. So that's what I was kind of working on. I just wanted to show you guys. It's just an idea, but similar ideas like this have worked on Mount Comfort Road. They inherited a Best Way site right there, right off of the interstate. And to tell you how much money that those guys make a month will make you sick. So whatever they're going to build off of 70, they're going to build it. Whether it's and I'm not into what's going on, but we're going to develop, whether it's economically, residentially, or factories. It's coming. I love this place. That's why I'm here. So everybody that's going to build is going to need these materials. So everybody that lives here is going to need these materials. I don't know, I can tell you where the closest place to get stone is right now. It's Milroy. If you need some sand, you got to go to Brookfield Sand and Gravel, or you got to run down here to George's place, which there's to get mulch. Good luck. Go to Greenfield maybe, but they're trucking it in from Indianapolis. So what I'm saying is there's no material supply places for 50 miles. Yeah, so I see the need. It's going to be here soon. So, but anyway, that's what I got, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
One is, first off, I like the idea of cleaning up the site.
Mm-hmm.
The asphalt grindings that are down there, what's the leaching potential for that? Is there concerns about that leaching into the soil?
No. So an asphalt milling, it's a compound, but it's a compound that stays together. So you dump it on the roads out here, and our most of our roads are made out of asphalt. As far as a pollution risk to them, I don't see it. It's more or less stone. It's just a lab-generated stone. So with the millings there, there's some good ideas, and
Quite
we're
a bit of it out there, right?
yeah. There's plenty to make the site flat. There's plenty to do some of the road work there that the cemetery needs. It's good to keep it and to use it. It makes great base, and it's free. It's a byproduct of something. So the millings are really a good thing. I try to catch the guys on 40 doing the road and get as many of them as I can all the time because they
And
pay.
you need to get rid of it.
Oh, they pay to get rid of
Yeah,
it.
right.
And then I'm like, oh, I got you. Come bring, and you see that, like Adams, they stockpiled a bunch, and I don't know who he knew, but it's good. That's a good thing that he did because then he can turn his whole area into a gravel lot. So
I know there are concerns in the community, and I have some concerns, and I actually talked to our interim water guy, Jeff Lane. This area is, I'll say maybe, we don't have the final answers yet. but
Sure.
Maybe in the water protection area. Wellhead protection, thank you, wellhead protection area.
sure.
There's a little more work needs to be done to validate the exact measurements of and what's required. We're beginning to look into that. We've gotten some information from the local folks in the community, and so that work needs to be done. I'll just say I have concerns about putting this kind of an industrial,
Sure.
equipment right next to the cemetery. I don't know how loud it is, but you got people coming to see their loved ones in the cemetery, and you're grinding massive amounts of trees. Might
Sure.
be kind of loud. So,
Mhm.
but I will say, I think it's very compelling, and I don't know if there's another. I mean, cleaning this location up, it would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm wondering if there's another location that we could think about. I don't
Well,
know.
and that's 100% an idea. The thing is, if you got the ground, I have the work. So just that particular area, even if you were to do it there until the area was all the way cleaned up the way you wanted it to be, or you process there, and really all that, it needs cleaned up like this. But instead of hauling it out, that costs money. This doesn't. You know, for the month or so we worked back there, you know, some days I was there from 8 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, and I don't think anyone said anything to me. So, but you are kind of down in a valley, so you know you're 7, 8 feet.
But you didn't have one of your big grinders out there.
No, I had big loaders. You know, big loader and big
So how long would
excavators.
it take to clean that area up and get everything out of there? That would
Well,
be my question.
you know that's a great question. How long's it been there? You know,
Yeah,
how
that
long?
was a while.
How long have we dumped there? How long? And it's mostly organic materials,
right.
but I don't know how long it.
So that's the thing. I mean, it sounds like there's maybe not a lot of risk
Mhm.
that this stuff is in this wellhead protection area, but the fact that there's, you know, a lot of concerns in the community about our water system anyway, because of the potential development. But again, personally, I think it's really interesting what you're proposing.
So
And
you
I
know,
know we have other property that may be possible to do something.
and if you use a site like that temporarily and kind of use it to clean up the site,
That's what
and then all the meanwhile find a place to move it. You know, to potentially move the site after that's clean, and already have it prepped and ready to go, and kind of make it the way you want it.
That was my thought.
I think that would be a great idea, because instead of putting like permanent fence up, we could do temp fence all the way down and still kind of do this idea, you know, whether it took 6 months to clean up or a year to clean up, then at least it's not a bill to clean it up, and then you could put it how you want it. So then it's not a bill, it's actually making you money. And then, you know, after it's clean, then move the site to an area that you find that would be, you know, you only need a few acres of ground where you can set these machine up and put some
How
blocks
many?
in.
What would that number be, you think?
3 to 5 acres would be a great site, but you know, it all depends on the site. But kind of what I'm getting at is that you know, growth's coming, so that's why I feel like it's a good idea. So, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. So,
Other questions?
I had a question. So I know that you talked about the dirt and the trees and stuff like that, and then spring cleanup would be great because I've been here for, I was reminded, 9 years this year, and we've never had a spring cleanup. We don't.
Used to, but yeah, it's been a while.
It's So I think that would be great. But do you have something to grind up tires? Because I know that is usually repurposed for playgrounds. It's not as
so we have a place that tires could go, you know, and that'd be a place we could reach out to and see if they would bring us a dumpster. So my experience with tires is I don't really, you know, especially while this is young and figuring out, you know, its place in the town, I wouldn't want to take on that liability or responsibility of tires, only because what if the tire company that I make a deal with or that we make a deal with then wants to start charging us? Right now I know a place that'll take them by the dumpster load, but then sometimes they won't. And then you're stuck with a big bill, you know. So I know what you're saying about tires. You know, I would send people to Riley Park Tire, and they'll give them $2 a tire, and they'll take them. So that's what I would do with tires. But repurposing it to playground mulch is a very good idea. They actually have a machine, and then this machine will take the tires and they'll throw it down flat. They'll stamp it. The part of the tire, the tread part of the tire is trash because it's got metal in it. The sidewalls do not. So then you take the sidewalls and then you run them through a similar grinder. There's a process. There's a whole nother machine to that, but then you have a whole nother byproduct to get rid of. You know, with doing gravel or crushed concrete or dirt or trees, there's nothing that it's going to produce that it won't. You can't sell, like a soybean. So there's 0% waste to a soybean. There's nothing that gets wasted on a soybean, and that's kind of how we would make a tree or make the gravel or the concrete. We would make nothing waste.
You made me thought of something as you're talking. If we mentioned sidewalk issues in town, we need to work to get sidewalks improved. If we took sidewalks out, ground them up, would concrete companies buy that material from us?
Well, concrete companies,
Use it or not?
like an IMI, they already take crushed concrete right now. And when I say take, they charge you to get rid of it. So if we take them a triaxle load of crushed concrete, they're going to charge me $200 or $300 to get rid of it. But then they're going to throw it in this machine that I'm telling you about. Then they're going to turn around and sell it back to me for $11 to $19 a ton. But you can use the byproduct of that concrete. You need a base for everything. So as you rip up these sidewalks, you're not just pouring on mud. And if you are, you're going to be replacing more sidewalks. But you could ultimately turn that into rock to put down. So they're doing it on I-70. If you guys haven't noticed it, they haven't bought a single ton of rock since they started this expansion because of these. They're ripping up the interstate, they're running it through a crusher, and then they're shipping it back out on the other end and putting it back in the road for their base. So now instead of how they buried the RCA dome, they buried it in Greenfield right before Mount Comfort Road. They're digging it back out now and crushing it up. So
Wow.
You're talking about along I-70 there?
yeah, so they're turning it into something. Now there's a lot of metal in that, so it takes a different machine to eat that kind of material. So you want clean concrete. There's no metal in any of the sidewalks. It'd be a fiber concrete if anything. So, but yeah,
I'm gonna move us on here.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time, but I'm gonna ask if there's any other questions before we wrap it up.
How long would it take if we did move forward? How long would it take to put this in to production? No.
Motion.
Yes. Thanks. Yeah. Because I had seen that they had boarded up that house where they're going to build the.
Medical center.
Thanks.
Chances?
Yeah.
it wouldn't take long. The equipment that we need is already home by next meeting.
I think maybe everybody knows, but you're right there in Raysville, right?
I am, yes.
So, right on the way north up the hill. My son lives up there, so I go by you a lot. But,
The big red
right
barn.
before you get to the viaduct, you turn right.
Oh.
That's
Go
where you-
underneath
just
that
on the
viaduct.
Yeah, right,
across from the old railroad.
right by, I think it's off of 650 West there. So when you turn off of Old National, you go underneath the viaduct. We're
That
there.
Meridian Street that's right there.
Yeah, they're on the right there.
Yeah.
Off of
The
650
church
West.
is in back.
So it wouldn't.
I'm intrigued. I think maybe I hear others maybe are too. I think it's worth maybe continuing a conversation. I'm not real excited about putting anything permanently at this site.
Mhm.
I am interested in seeing us clean up the site and maybe doing that work to get things out of that area and reduce any concerns. And eventually that area may need to become part of the cemetery, but I think it's intriguing what you're offering.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, any questions, I think I've sent this to Kevin, and then everyone has it. My number's on there in my email, so I can meet with you guys anytime. So, yep, I'll get out of your
Thank
way
you for
now.
coming.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving on. Comprehensive plan discussion. So I brought this up just because I know I was on the comprehensive plan group back in probably 17, 18, actually 16 probably. I think we improved it in 17. So it needs to be updated. And so I believe we have to do that or should do that every 5 years, and we're already behind. So I would propose that we just agree to find a company and get quotes to help us with that process. And hopefully we can get back next month and decide if we want to move forward and get our comprehensive plan updated. Everybody agree that that's a good idea?
I do agree that's a good idea.
All right, I'll work with Bart to get the folks. I know we have, this guy that we worked with before is still available, but probably Greg can give us some ideas also of people that can help us. All right, thank you. We talked last month about golf carts, and so we have an ordinance proposed.
No, you have an ordinance in place.
Oh, that's the one that's already,
Yeah,
we
you
have,
already have
okay.
that in place.
We don't have any changes. We need to.
It was in like what, 2000?
16. question, as I understood it, was whether you want to allow other types of vehicles.
Right.
What are called
Side by
UTVs.
side.
And just keep in mind, from a definition standpoint, an ATV, a three-wheeler, a four-wheeler is not a UTV. So a UTV is basically a utility vehicle. Let me find that definition here real quickly for you.
Greg, do we find out about the registration, if it was
Do what?
the registration?
Get them registered.
Okay.
What, as I understand it, what Landon wants to do
Yeah, that's
is
what this
charge
is.
for the inspection, okay? The inspection is a forerunner to the registration, but what you can't do is charge them for a license to operate. So they're required to be registered, UTVs are required to be registered with the Department of Natural Resources, that's by statute. So that's the only registration, but we can require an inspection to make sure they have the correct equipment and that it's all functioning, and we can charge a fee for that. So
Okay.
I think we can get around that particular part of the statute. But again, it's just, I wasn't clear, and I'm sure Kevin probably expressed it clear enough, but I didn't quite understand what kind of vehicles, in addition to golf carts, you were wanting to see if you could allow to operate on your streets.
Right. And then,
And you may not, I think I just sent that this week, so I'm
Right.
not sure if you had a chance to look at the statutes I sent, as well as Hancock County's ordinance, which does allow UTVs on county roads, but of course with several restrictions, and has statutory limitations on where they can be operated, as well as the types of equipment that
Right.
it has to have on it.
So they don't allow them to run in Greenfield?
We do not.
Don't, okay. Are there reasons that you know of that that's not, I mean, do they allow any golf carts or anything in town?
They do allow
Okay.
golf carts.
Okay.
And UTVs and ATVs have been brought up in discussions at the council, but so far they've not indicated any willingness to entertain that.
and this ordinance that's already in place does have a penalty
Yes.
section or first violation, whatever, and that would go along with this inspection, or is that more for like driving offenses, or?
You would have a separate ordinance for UTVs, and within that ordinance, then you would have a separate fine structure.
Okay,
So these are violations of this ordinance, it says. Yeah, so these are ordinance violations. And I mean, you mentioned last time that if they violate the law, the driving laws, then that's a separate issue. That would be,
Stop sign violation.
yeah. So they have to follow the law that way. Okay.
Traffic citation, yeah.
So, may I ask?
Yeah.
So my concern is that, we want to enforce the golf cart thing, and there's a lot of the UTVs, or I think most people call them side-by-sides on the streets. And most people, for the majority of them, all drive safely, but there are some that don't. And our golf cart ordinance is really good because it says that you have to have a driver's license, and it's going to take care of a lot of the problems. But they have to be inspected and registered, and we would give them the stickers that I had printed up, and then we would be able to tell who was just by glancing at the thing, who was in compliance and who wasn't. But it's going to be difficult, not impossible by any means, to just deal with golf carts, and then, because it's my understanding they can't operate on the roadway in town unless we have an ordinance allowing them. Is that correct?
Golf carts or UTVs?
UTVs.
That's correct.
So,
And golf carts too.
so,
Yeah, which we do now.
so
for
we've
golf
got the
carts.
ordinance now for golf cart, and I would just like to sew it up, because we haven't been doing anything
Right.
to regulate it or register them or anything else. But if we do the golf carts, it would be nice to have a supplement or a new ordinance, whatever it takes, to also allow the side-by-sides, because there's a lot of those out there too.
Require them to register with you. You can require them to have inspection and to have the sticker.
Yeah.
But the registration is through the Department of Natural Resources.
Okay.
That's the only place that they.
So be careful with the language there.
Wrong
right? We're
terminology.
just-
but-
Oh, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But just as far from the police department, we haven't been enforcing that, and we need to.
And we
enforce
want
it.
you to, right? And
Yes,
that's why it came
and
up.
that was- and we can inspect them and give them the sticker for free if you want, but I believe that there should be a fee for that every year, and it would also, that in itself would help keep some of the problems off the roadway. So that's my motivation to do it. At your request, a few months ago, you asked for me to look into that, and I think that's the way it would work the smoothest. And adding something for the UTVs would make sense too, because there are a lot of those already on the roadway, and we haven't enforced either one.
So what did you propose on the fee?
$40 first time fee, and then $10 a year for the same vehicle every year after to get the new sticker.
Okay.
And then also if we get somebody that doesn't have a sticker, what do you want me to do with somebody's operating that doesn't have a sticker? Because that wouldn't be a state statute, I don't believe.
Well,
That would be,
this has
would be
some
an ordinance
penalties
violation.
in there. Be an ordinance
Yeah.
violation, right?
Okay.
Well, those penalties are in
That's
there.
what I'm saying, if you write like a local ticket, where does it go? I mean,
Yeah.
how does that?
The one we wrote for the parking tickets over the summer was they were given a ticket and they were told to pay the fine by such and such date at the clerk's office, or come in and plead not guilty, and then the attorney would take that and deal with it after that. But if they pled guilty, you just took the fine and for the
I
parking
would try to not write anything under state. I would do everything under ordinance if at all possible. If that's the way we're gonna, because we get
Well,
$3 of the state money.
But all they can do is cross 40, right? And-
Correct,
and
but
so
like
they-
Chief Dean was saying, if they don't stop at a stop sign, that could be a state violation, but we could write that under an ordinance violation and keep all $75 of that money instead of just getting $3.
Right.
Now, what kind of leverage would we have? Like, if they don't pay, what do we, I mean,
So if you write them the ticket for the stop sign and they don't pay it,
Right.
then Greg would have to file a lawsuit basically, and we would pay Greg and pay the court costs and take him to court. If you write the state statute,
more than
and
75.
the prosecutor handles that at no cost to us.
Yeah.
So
So is that the right way to deal with ordinance violations? Okay, I wonder. So what's the correct way? Okay, that's what I thought.
We used to have
You brought that up before.
Yeah. I know, and
So we didn't need to create.
State Board of Accounts took it away. That's what,
So we kind of, you're saying we
Yeah.
can't have it or we can have it? Okay.
we did.
Are you talking about a town court like
No.
they have?
No, where they, like he's saying,
Where
an ordinance violations
violator
bureau.
And the violator wishes to admit the violation and pay the associated fine.
So-
Anything contested or otherwise would need to go through the court system.
So that would be, would the zoning ordinance be handled similarly?
I mean, we could make,
Well,
Quite a
yes,
bit of
it can,
money.
like trash and those kinds of things, if they wish to admit they.
Yeah,
committed
or-
the ordinance violation.
Yeah.
But-
Okay,
And that bureau was set up years and years ago, maybe
Okay.
when you were here first time.
yeah, I remember doing it, and then it went away.
I know
'cause-
it's still in place, it's just nobody's been referring anything to them.
So
I don't know, we could check into it.
how does
We
that,
talked about it before.
how does that work? I mean, is there an actual committee that accepts this money, or you're
No.
talking about a bureau? What is that?
It's just a mechanism by which a violator can come into the clerk's office, pay the associated fine, get a
This-
receipt, and then they've taken care of the violation. Now, in code, when I say code violations, I'm talking about zoning code. So if it's trash or something like that, they can't just come in and pay the fine, they have to clean it up as well and take whatever remedial steps are necessary.
Yeah.
And that would normally be through Ben.
Mhm, right.
So, again,
So I think people would support that. I mean, we've had issues in the past, we've, and Ben has tried to address those and not felt like he's had a way to deal with that. So all these things need addressed.
what happened years ago with Ordinance Violations Bureau is there was some case law that indicated that you could write traffic code violations and send them through the Ordinance Violation Bureau. And therefore, then there wasn't a record forwarded to the BMV regarding
Right.
the violation.
Yep.
And after a while, the Attorney General came down and said, no, you can't do that for any kind of moving violation. And so that took a lot of the incentive a way for towns to have or operate their violation bureau, because those types of movements, A, generated the most money and usually were the most voluminous or voluminous. So, but here, I mean, again, you have one, it's just not being used, and you could use it for violations of this code, of this ordinance, and as well if you decide you want a UTV ordinance. And likewise, if Ben wants to start issuing code enforcement letters, and he does occasionally, and I think eventually sometimes I get involved, but I think most of the time people cooperate with him and clean up and take the necessary steps.
The UTV ordinance be incorporated into this ordinance we
I
already
would not
have?
recommend it because
Okay.
the criteria are different. so
Right.
I would recommend a separate ordinance.
So what about three-wheelers and four-wheelers? No?
They're not allowed.
Don't allow them?
Statute.
Good, okay. That'd be my preference, okay.
On private property by the owners or. with
Right,
the owner
right, of
permission,
course,
yes,
of course.
but not otherwise.
Okay,
So this wouldn't involve it, you know, any extra duties for anyone or any certain department. They would simply come in, if they had to pay a fine or whatever, they'd come in to the office, pay it, and that's it. Is that correct?
Yeah, the police department has to do all the inspections. so
Right,
unless there's
right,
additional work there,
okay.
But that's the.
But any
that's
kind
where
of,
There's a charge.
any
So
kind of,
simply, until you decide all that other, is it okay to go ahead and start enforcing what we already
that's
have?
what I was gonna
And
say.
advertise to say, hey, look, you need to get your golf cart inspected. And
I'll try and find to see what ordinance number that was and if, you know, where it was and if it's still in effect. I mean, I would think it would be.
this
What
one?
ordinance?
do we have
The
to
one
do
we have right
something
here.
to accept
No,
fees?
no, I mean,
No, he means.
I mean for the ordinance
Oh,
violation.
the ordinance
bureau,
violation
yeah,
bureau.
when we
Yeah.
created that, yeah.
Yeah, we need that, right. So, you know, and I'll just say, I'm not interested in making that like a moneymaker, right? I just hope that people will follow the rules and do what's needed, so that's not even required, but
Yeah.
so what we would need to do is add in here, I mean, there's a registration section, does it have? I think we need to add some of your details.
I'll prepare a draft.
Yeah, okay.
Now that I know you.
Do we need a motion to,
In
no?
addition to this, are you talking about? or-
Well, I'm just saying in here, we
Oh.
don't
There's
state
not a
the
fine,
cost.
there's not a cost in that.
Right.
So if
Yeah,
we're gonna
this-
do the registration, which is listed, you know, we can go into a little bit of detail and say what we're doing exactly and what the cost is to register first year, you know, following years, okay?
Okay.
On that note, I mean, are we going to let the officers repossess after the third violation in a 12-month period? Are we going to let the officers repossess the golf carts? Are we going to keep that?
Repossess them, okay.
You mean impound it?
Trying to find- Yeah, shall no longer be allowed to operate.
That's what we ran
So-
into last time, yeah. What kind of leverage do we have? I mean, if people don't pay their ticket, what do we? can't really
Well, it just says that they'll no longer be allowed to operate. That's the punishment, I guess, if you will.
Take their
That they,
keys away.
you know, they
So at
can't,
that time,
they can't be on the roads. They
They're gonna get a uniform traffic violation.
remove their registration, and so then they would be illegal. I don't think we want to start impounding these people's.
No.
Somebody doesn't have a sticker and they say, we're not gonna do this and we're gonna drive it anyway, we're gonna have to impound the golf cart.
Well, you can do that as a legal process, but not special in our ordinance, I'm
Okay.
saying, yeah.
All right.
Well, it's authorized by state law. that
That's what I'm
you can
saying.
impound, And it's authorized in your ordinance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right,
Under Section 12, impounding.
I didn't see
golf
that.
carts for noncompliance.
sorry.
An officer is authorized to enforce motor vehicle laws and due to this ordinance shall take the golf cart
Yeah,
into
okay.
the officer's
So
custody.
we're agreeing with state law, I'm fine with that.
Yes. and
Okay.
I mean.
I think we need to come up with the UTV thing also, as there's businesses in town that utilize those things quite frequently.
Yeah,
So-
and I think we're saying we want to go ahead and do the UTV.
You told me you created.
Right.
No, okay,
But in the meantime, we're gonna go and
Okay.
adjust this and get this moving so
That's
he
what
can
I
start.
wasn't
okay.
sure.
So I'm not thrilled about the whole process
Me either,
personally,
me either.
but people are driving these things. We need the rules in place and the restrictions. People need to know you're gonna start.
It's just,
know.
you know, if we're not gonna use it, we need to get rid of it.
Right.
Because then we get I would think we'd get in trouble someday if something did happen and say, well, you haven't been enforcing this town ordinance, but
We need to do it.
I'm not a lawyer, but that's just the way I look
Are
at it.
we in agreement with the $40 the first time and then 10 after, or? Because I think 40's a little high, but I wouldn't want to do 40.
25 and then 10.
How about that?
I would do a
25 for the
20
first
and a 10, probably.
registration, and then 10 later. 40's kind of high.
It doesn't matter, whatever you guys think, just so we can get started is all I care.
Sounds like 25 and then 10, Craig. Okay, thank you.
Do we have a place? I'm not saying that we're going to impound their golf carts, but in the case that we find a 12-year-old driving a golf cart through town and let's say it's not registered or anything else, do we have somewhere to take that golf cart until the owner can?
I would imagine, he's not a lawyer, I'm not a policeman. But I would imagine in that kind of scenario, they're gonna take that kid home, talk to his parents, and say, if this happens again, we're gonna impound your golf cart if you leave him out there driving. I mean, but not on the first offense in all likelihood. Now, granted, if you're going to impound something, you have to have a secure place to keep it so that it's not damaged or vandalized or it can't be stolen or whatever the case may be. And I'm not sure if you have a fenced-in, secure location.
I was thinking the same thing. We got a new place. We're gonna like put this area over there.
Yeah.
No, not the cemetery. That's what I said. Not the cemetery. Somewhere else. That's exactly what I have in mind, by the way.
But that's to answer your question. Yes, you would need a secure location to do that.
But in the case of a kid, we would handle that, we would call the parents, and hopefully the parents would handle it much better than we could, and never let it happen again, so.
Right. It was just the first thing that came to my brain.
Thank you. All right. We're going to move on to our engineering company discussion. It's called Discussion and Update. I'm hopeful we're prepared for a vote. Just to give a little history, I guess, we did invite 6 companies to propose to become the engineers for Knightstown. Is there a discussion that we need to have?
Yes. Just asking if we needed a vote on this. Do we need a motion?
He said no. Because we're gonna get new ordinances and new updates, then we'll vote.
All right.
Sorry.
So we'll table it from now and then, yeah.
So
we're
we're
just-
not
we're just
starting,
asking for that.
we're not starting the,
He's starting, the golf cart ordinance has been in place.
Yeah, it's already.
right, but we can't start the inspections then?
Of the golf carts you can.
We can.
because there's-
Okay, that's what they're asking.
25 and 10 without you voting on it is what I'm asking.
Oh, no, you should have a motion. If you're gonna
Okay,
have a
that's a good question. Thank you. Somebody want to make a motion that we apply those costs to the registration for golf carts?
do the inspection.
I'm sorry, I got it wrong. Inspection, thank you.
But it's important.
I make
is.
a motion to do the $25 first time inspection fee and then a $10 fee every year after that
For golf carts.
for golf carts.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the fees for the golf court registration, inspection. I get this right? I'm sorry, we need to take a vote. We're kind of in the middle of it. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Sorry, maybe I muted your, come up at front and tell us your, come up here and, I'm gonna let you speak. You came to the meeting, we appreciate you.
Is this gonna be a new golf court ordinance?
No, it's the same one we passed.
Same one you passed.
We're gonna adjust it a little bit.
You're just revising it.
We're revising a little bit.
Okay, that
And we're gonna add a UTV separate one, because it's got different requirements.
wasn't on the other one.
It wasn't there. It needs to be separate, he's saying.
I just wanted to-
Yep, thank you. Okay, so now we're back to the engineering discussion and update. As I said, we've had 6 companies come. We voted, pared that down to 3, VS Engineering, HWC, and Donahue. Okay, those are the 3 that we move forward. There was discussion amongst the council. Mostly people weren't looking for more information. I personally was. I did have 3 online meetings with these companies recently, recorded those, made it available to the rest of the council members if they wanted to view them. It was somewhat helpful. I will tell you, I don't think we can make a bad decision tonight. There's 3 very good companies that we're talking to. So I'm not worried about from that perspective, and I've had other input from other people who are knowledgeable saying, we've got great companies in front of us here to work with. So I would make a proposal. We have 3 companies. Just to get a really good vote, I'm kind of in favor of doing my multi-vote idea and paring it down to 2 and then making a final vote. Any concerns about that, Greg?
Ask the clerk. I don't, the process is fine.
I mean, it's just a simple vote for.
Yeah, I mean.
You would vote for 2 on the initial vote, 2 of the 3, and then we would take 1 out, and then we would vote head to head on the final, just so everybody's voting between the final answer. That way we don't get some,
Okay,
you know.
so just a thought, my suggestion would be, for instance, you say all those in favor of HWC as one of the 2 finalists.
Right.
Do that once,
Yep.
and then have a roll call.
Right.
And then proceed to BNS
For
or
each one.
whatever order you want.
Right.
And then Bart can announce at the end which 2.
The
got
top 2.
Votes,
Right.
and then you're down. The other thing I would ask Roger is, I know you sent those video links to the members. I don't remember if you sent it to Bart, but you should, and Bart,
Oh,
you should
I'm
keep
sorry.
those.
I can do that.
In case there's ever any question about what was discussed.
Okay.
So I'm just
Sorry about that, Bart.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm just putting this out there. I have not had a chance to watch the videos. You sent those out today. I was at work
Well,
all day.
Yes, yesterday I had 1 meeting on Tuesday, sent that out, and I had 2 yesterday, and I sent them out right after each.
Right.
Relatively soon.
So I haven't had a chance to watch those videos, and I do not feel comfortable making a vote.
Okay.
I say that because they weren't any of the ones that I had.
Okay. I thought
Liked.
Donahue was on your list. Wasn't Donahue? No? Okay. Okay. I am concerned about waiting personally. We have a number of items that we need to get going, in particular CCMG, preparing for that, making decisions, making sure we have everything in place. There may be a decision, well, I guess there would be a decision about the technology park. If that moves forward, then we need to engage those people very quickly.
Yeah.
They're, based on the feedback from these companies, our approvals are out of date for the sewer project and need to be, and there's also likely some adjustments to the design because of the needs out there. And then, of course, we need to move quickly to get started on our water project in town and upgrade our water system. So all these things are coming quickly, and waiting another month is a little concerning to me. I understand, and whatever the council decides is fine, but.
Would it be possible to have a special meeting where we can vote it?
Always
on it
possible.
Within a few days? Or?
Few days.
Or,
Next
I
week,
mean-
actually, I mean, for me, I happen to be out the week after next, but next week could work for me. If you want to wait a week and have a special session, I'm okay with that.
I'm busy all next week.
You are? Okay.
I mean, I'm ready, but I don't want to speak for Desiree.
Yeah, I mean,
I will-
I agree. I think we need to get the process
Yeah.
rolling.
I will tell you, based on the conversations I had, I told Bruce this earlier, I'm actually very undecided. I think it's not, it's a difficult choice, but it's really not a difficult choice.
A good
You know,
solution.
whoever we pick is
It's
going to
nice
be
that
good.
it's that different,
They're all
yeah.
good companies. So, there's subtle differences, I guess, and I have some opinions, but it's,
So again, to resolve this issue, my suggestion would be that you have a motion as to whether to proceed.
To make a vote, okay.
To determine, the engineer for the town tonight.
Okay.
And see if that passes, and if not, then pick a date for your special meeting.
okay.
I'll make the motion that we vote on an engineering company tonight.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
There should be a roll call, 'cause
Roll call vote, okay. So we'll have to do roll call vote.
Roger Hammer,
Yes.
Bruce Brown,
Yes.
Kevin Ritchie,
Yes?
Jeffrey Van Hoy,
Yes.
Desiree Payton.
No.
Okay, passes 4-1.
Okay. So, you know, put the three names down, Bart, VS Engineering,
VS,
HWC, and Donahue. And we'll
So
vote
I'll say who would be in favor of, I'll do a
roll
vote
call on
for
each one.
So just again, to clarify,
I don't have a second.
an I vote means that you're selecting the company in question as one of the two finalists.
Right.
So it's just-
So vote for only two. You have to vote no for one of them.
Yes.
Or you can vote no for two.
You can vote no for all three.
Do whatever you want.
So
Then we should do that.
VS being one of the two finalists, roll call vote, Roger Hammer.
Yes.
Can you repeat that name?
BNS.
VS Engineering.
VNS.
Oh, VNS.
Is it VNS?
It's VS.
It's just VS.
It's
Yes.
Oh, okay.
VS Engineering.
That threw me off.
Bruce Brown,
No.
Kevin Ritchie,
No.
Jeffrey Van Hoy,
Yes.
Desiree Payton.
No.
Okay. So that's 3 no's, 2 yeses. Okay. Okay. Now, HWC engineering firm being one of the two finalists, roll call vote, Roger Hammer,
Yes.
Bruce Brown,
Yes.
Kevin Ritchie,
Yes?
wow, Jeffrey Van Hoy,
Yes.
Desiree Payton.
No.
You didn't make it unanimous. All right. So 4 yeses, 1 no. Okay. And a roll call vote on Donahue being one of the two finalists. Roger Hammer,
No.
Bruce Brown,
No.
Kevin Ritchie,
No.
Jeffrey Van Hoy,
No.
Desiree Payton.
No.
Wow, okay.
We just,
Okay.
Kind of.
H-
But now we're down to
Okay,
two.
so it's
Different. It's a little different, but
Yeah, it's
pretty obvious, but
you
yeah.
need a motion as to your, from someone to appoint HWC as your, because that was the one that got 4 votes, was it not?
Yeah.
We're not gonna do another vote?
No.
You don't think we
don't
need
have
to? I know we don't have to, but the difference is now it's a head-to-head, but, okay.
Somebody makes a motion for one or the other.
I'll make
Oh,
them.
okay, that's fine.
Oh,
We can
okay.
do that.
Yeah, okay.
I'll make the motion. We appoint HWC as the representative for the engineering firm for the town of Knightstown.
I'll second that.
All right. We're gonna, let's do a roll call.
Running out of room here. Okay. Roger Hammer,
Yes.
Bruce Brown,
Yes.
Kevin Ritchie,
Yes.
Jeffrey Van Hoy,
Yes.
Desiree Payton.
No.
All right.
On to the next.
HWC is our new engineering company. Thank you. I apologize to Desiree that you didn't have more time. I wish you would have, but I think we all will be very happy with the work we get done. So thank you.
So Roger, you have an email contact for each of those. Is someone going to notify the winners and the losers and the winners?
Yeah, I mean, I can do
Let
that.
them start
They may be watching, I don't know,
and
but
have
yeah.
them- And have them send
Motion.
their proposed contract.
Yes.
Be an on-call service contract.
Right.
And send that to me.
Okay. I will do that. All right, next subject is ambulance board chassis?
Southern Henry Ambulance.
Ah,
Service.
okay. I didn't know that. Update.
Quick
Okay,
way to
go ahead.
say it.
You're on that.
I'll start and Desiree can
Okay.
end, or you can start, or whatever, but I'll start. We met the other day to discuss an update as well, and spoke with our other board members, and I'm speaking as a board member of the Southern Henry right now, and Desiree also serves on that board. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I say anything that I'm not saying correctly, but we decided that we wanted to continue on into this year with pursuing the ambulance service. We've hit a lot of obstacles in the road the past year and a half. A lot of it, none of our doing. Some of it, because of our needs or our reasons. But we think it's a very valuable resource that we want to pursue, and that's our plan. We've talked to the other board members. We're going to look at more grants, opportunities, more fundraising opportunities, work with the Newcastle EMS to see how we can coordinate with them. We do have contacts with the Department of Homeland Security, who oversees basically all of first responders. Is that correct, Lanny? Basically it's the Department of Homeland Security that's over all of that area in the state, and there can be a big help in funding and also recruitment and things of that nature. We've got our rent caught up and our insurance, so we need to, Desiree and I both feel we need to move quickly and get this resolved. And then if by 6 months to a year, if it's not going to work, we need to make a decision on that then. You want to add anything, or?
Got a question.
Is this service a BLS service, an ALS
It
service?
would start out as BLS.
Yes.
Okay.
If it can grow into one, that would be great, to an
'Cause-
ALS.
Because we would like to grow it.
Yeah.
Once we get it off the ground, it would be BLS and then ALS, and then we talked about doing the para-community
Yeah,
program,
Right.
where we go out, the EMTs or the paramedics could go out, and the people that are stuck in their house or that are released
Right.
from hospitals can go out into the community and, change bandages,
right.
monitor medications. That way it keeps our population in their homes where they're comfortable and keep them from having to go back to the hospital and incurring all those medical bills.
Kind of like a mobile clinic in a way.
Yeah.
And insurance, or, that if a lot of the insurances, they're going towards that, looking at those options, and because it keeps the costs of the emergency room visits down, because so many emergency room visits, the hospitals eat that cost because a lot of the people don't have the coverage or the insurance for that. And they use that as their doctor, which, you got to do what you got to do. But this paramedicine, I believe the
Yeah,
term,
it is.
it cuts down on a lot of other expenses. And that would be a great thing for this community and other communities that have instituted that. It's a great thing, but that would be next down the road. That's it.
All right. Next item on our list is storm sewer utility discussion.
That was just, it's wanting to be kind of brought back up. I talked a little bit with Rick Taylor about that, and he really has been pushing for it for years, and I know we've discussed it before. So that he asked if I would just present that to the council, kind of put that bug back in your ear, that we think we need to have that discussion again as far as the storm sewer, And one thing we had noticed, as I said through the engineering meeting the first time when we interviewed all of them, and they got the 45 minutes, I believe all 4 of them that night talked about having a storm sewer, the pros and the cons of it, and that they would help us. They promoted it, and that they would actually help us do it, and make it an easier process. So that's just I was asked to kind of put that on there, so to get the discussion going again, I guess.
Okay. And that was a discussion with the engineering, at least some of the engineering companies. And I think that would be a good topic for us to have. One of the companies actually mentioned that there was not a lot of grant money anymore for that.
Okay.
So my comment was, if that's actually true, I would kind of prefer not to create a utility, because frankly, once you create a utility,
It's there.
future boards may just decide to make money from it more than, and personally, I'd want to keep our costs low in this community. But I know there is an opportunity, if there are grants, and that we can learn that from the engineering company, then I know there is a very low level of fee you can put in place for a utility on a monthly basis. That then the only way to be allowed to go for the grants is you have to have a storm sewer utility. So that's kind of the conversation I think we need to have with the engineering company. So thank you for bringing it up. All right. Anyone else have any comments about storm sewer? All right. Approval of claims.
For the month for the general council docket, I'll go ahead and read the dollar amount. It is $576,945.62.
I'll make the motion that we approve the January 2026 council docket in the amount of $576,945.62.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. This is December, right? Okay, yeah.
I would say it's
my
the-
question. Sorry.
yeah,
I should
it's
have
the-
thought of that. So,
Mhm.
all right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. On to the payroll docket.
Okay. And the payroll docket for the claims is $223,420.86.
I'll make the motion that we accept the payroll docket in the amount of $223,420.86.
I will second that.
All right. Motion and a second for the payroll docket. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Other financial matters? Anything else, Bart?
No, it's just, I got you the fund report for the month, but we weren't able to do an appropriation report. We're having kind of an IT issue. We have to close out the year, and when we roll it over, I have to keep it open long enough to be able to do my annual financial report next month. So I have to leave it open. So we can't roll over the year, so there was no way to get, now that we're into January. So it's kind of just an IT issue. There's nothing, no surprises or anything. The good thing, we talked about last month, there were no negatives in any of the funds. There were no negatives as far the budget, the end of the 2025 budget to December 31st. And there were no negatives in the categories. So we didn't have to do it. This was the first year because, I mean, normally, we always have to do a transfer of appropriations, the resolutions, and the things like that. We didn't have to do that this year because there was no negative categories, barely. So we were good. But yeah, it's just a rollover issue now. Probably about a month from now, when we finish, we will be able to do the final general fund bank rec, and then roll over the year with Keystone, which we have Key Fund accounting system. And then I'll do my annual financial report. Then we can close it out, and I'll be able to get you guys an official, at that point, appropriation report. So you'll be able to know right where we are as a percentage of the budget. Probably we're looking at end of February, I would say. So maybe by the council meeting in February, I might be able to have that for you, but it's just, we're kind of where we are as far as not to be able to close it out. So, but no surprises. I mean, that happens every year. So, but yep, that's the only financial thing I really have.
I actually have something.
Roxanna,
Sorry.
Go
Do you have anything else?
Nope.
I actually have a utility thing that kind of touches on personal from the standpoint of adjustments to bills. I think you guys are well aware of my request to make that information clear in the billing. I know our systems don't support that well, but personally, I think we have to find a way to make that happen. And I actually would like the council to vote on that, to require that any adjustments to billing or levels of service, gallons of water, electric, anything that is manually adjusted shows up on a bill with a clarification. I know that might be a lot of work, but I think our community and, require.
We don't have any way to add that to bills.
I know. I'm
It's all,
saying
it's
that,
all standard pre-printed approved through State Board of Accounts. So what we do is we call. We always keep in contact with our customers. Katie has a running list of, the water ones that we're talking about. Like, for instance, this month, we can't open water meter pits. So those that can't be read remotely, we're having to estimate because it's too cold to open water meter pits. So we have to estimate. But we do try to notify our customers, and there is an E next to their gallon usage. So that tells them that it is an estimate. That's the most we can do, but we've kept in contact with the few that had some issues before we were able to get their meters replaced. We were
So-
contacting them. We were working with them on, especially when they got a larger bill.
right, like
We
me.
worked with them on
because it
that.
was not being
We
read.
refunded back their late payment fees. We allowed them time to make
Sure.
those payments and what have you.
So and that's good. I appreciate that you've done that with people.
But you're talking about like, as far as like
So my
the
point
big
is,
ones, the sewer
I want to
adjustments.
see, I'll just throw out the example, right? My meter was not read for quite a while
Right.
after we moved in, and I didn't know this. And so now we're getting a 10,000 gallon a month bill, right? And I don't know what my actual usage was on that bill. I would like to have a split. Leave the actual usage on the bill. If you need to get me another piece of paper that says, okay, this is your additional billing. So I need anybody that has a bill like that should know what their total, what are they making up, right? You're allowing me to pay monthly to catch up what I never knew we had used.
Right.
The contract,
and,
yeah.
And so with that, I need to know what's my total, because I don't really know personally what I owe you.
Like
No,
each
the
month
total of
or-
what was behind. I don't even know what that number is.
So
You and I talked about it.
We
last
did.
month. So.
Did you give me a total? Okay, I didn't remember
And
that.
that's when you told me that the 10,000 until you were caught up was fine with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, what was it? Do you remember?
Like, I think it was
$600-700?
68.
You're talking about number of gallons.
To catch you up, yes.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the actual dollars cost,
yeah,
converting it to dollars. So my point is, I should always see on my bill, no matter what, how many gallons I actually use this month.
So, okay,
And then
so,
there should be some place where you tell me, here's the additional catch-up amount. I don't know how much this happens, but if it's a separate sheet of
Well,
paper,
that's
or
what
you
we're-
gotta go
that's what
back to
we're
the
working on
company.
Resolving is it not happening anymore. That's where
No,
we're
and
trying
that's
to work
good.
with Badger to make
And I
sure
think,
this
I
isn't
mean, I think
happening.
we may need an audit on this whole process, frankly, to
Well,
kind
we're
of go
getting ready to
back.
go to our new
Was-
our new system,
Right.
which is going to be the online system.
Right.
Gonna go live.
And
But here's
which
a
means our bills will
question for
change.
you. I know there's been other people who have had issues that were, actually got numbers that were wrong. That's very concerning to me,
Oh, me too.
right? So the fact that
Trust me,
somebody's
we deal with
getting,
the phone calls. We don't like to have to
yeah,
tell
and
people
so
this.
I think we need an audit on the system, and I want that to not just be about you guys, but about the equipment and why this problem has happened. Because we need to know that we're getting solid information.
A
and
lot
the
of ours
community
is
needs
not
to know.
a system problem.
Okay?
Some of it is our guys reading and not reading right, or
So
the
it's
meter
reading.
not working, functioning. The meter
Right.
not functioning. Like in the instance of you, we were getting a reading from Badger, but your meter was not reading properly remotely, and we didn't know this.
Okay.
That was the problem that we were getting with you. We had another instance where apparently a number was messed with on the back end at Badger, not us, on the back end with Badger. We didn't know about it until this guy gets this giant water bill. And we called him to see if he
Yeah,
had a leak
I heard
because
about
there was
that.
no way you couldn't have had a leak
Right.
with that much. And then getting on the phone call with Badger, come to find out that was a back end on them. So we're trying.
That's
we're-
kind of my point. The fact
Yes.
that that happened at all in that system is very concerning.
Them, though, 'cause
Yeah,
it's an actual human.
that's the problem. Is that's them doing
When-
it. And then
right,
Well, I'm
when
questioning
Badger
whether or not that
uploads.
service is working.
I'm right
That's
there
my
with
point.
you in
Yeah.
that. I
So-
don't-
So
I
we
don't
need to
like
get
it
this
either.
company in and talk to us about the quality of
Yeah.
their system.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm not a big fan of them.
So it's,
So-
I mean, and a lot of the problems kind of has been to when Badger uploads to Keystone, when it actually uploads.
No,
I
the
think
problem
that's
is not the
On the
upload.
back
It's
end,
the problem is on the back end. That's what
totally
we're
on
doing.
there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
so, okay, so
nothing we can do about that.
I on water, the thing that you guys told me about, so that way I could monitor what's happening in my house.
That's what I.
And I have the app. Yeah, I have the
Yeah.
app.
So
So
you can look. I can show
I
you
can,
how to.
I understand.
Yeah.
I have the app. not everybody's, and I'm bringing this up more than me, okay? This is not just about me. This is about other people that may have to deal with this, that may not be comfortable with apps and all that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. We need
No,
to have a system.
We don't disagree with you at all. We're not happy with Badger. It's very difficult to work with. I can't tell you the number of phone calls Katie has tried to make, not gotten a return phone call.
Do you know
Randy
if our
made
equipment,
multiple ones.
can our equipment work with a different service?
Yes, it can.
Okay, we should investigate that.
I have actually a guy who come in to talk to
Okay.
us. His little thing will work through the same service that we get our electric readings through.
Oh,
So
okay.
it would kind of just all be able to be pulled in on one service. So
And he said that
I'll happily talk to him and get some information from him. I don't know how many companies are out there, so I don't know that there's a possibility of 3 bids, but I can at least talk to him and get information from him regarding that to attempt, because we pay Badger a lot of money a month to.
We have a new engineering company, we can ask them also, right?
Well,
Yeah.
and that guy also said that the meters that aren't remote, that they can bundle that in to help getting more of them changed.
Good. That's
Well,
the other
that's
thing we
not,
need to.
exactly,
focus on,
that's a good
getting all
point.
those
Remember,
up.
the original contract, they should have had them all done. They kept kind of bagging out on that, you know.
I found
More and more
I
aren't
found
done.
A whole binder from when the
Yeah.
water meter thing started, and they had a list of every address, and there was so many that had reasons why they couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we don't need to rehash all that tonight, but thank you. If you check into that, I think that'd be helpful. Okay, next topic is legal. Any other legal matters? All right, RDC, it's really nothing new there. I think, folks know that we're still pursuing the Ready 2 funds. That's not decided yet, but we hope to understand how that will go in the next 30 to 60 days, we'll say. And that may be a major project that happens in town, so that could be exciting. And anything else?
I did just want to add one thing on the planning commission side. Me and Desiree are on that. We need a couple people to fill some spots on there. If anybody knows anybody in town that would like to be a part of that,
I think
please reach out.
I think Ben sent me a couple of names.
We're always
And I
looking.
did send it to the crew today, so yeah, Ben was
Okay,
concerned
yep.
about that. So, yeah.
So
What are the qualifications just to live
Just-
within
just-
city
yep,
town
and
limits?
come to the meetings.
Yeah, show up.
So
That and the BZA.
that's the biggest
So we've had a
qualification.
problem that people are,
So-
and, there may be good reasons for that personally, but too many people have had,
But there's-
reasons to not
There's
show
a lot.
up.
There's a lot going on that.
And
in
we
that,
have a lot of
in order
development,
to
right?
get things done, we have to have a meeting and we have to have a quorum to get a vote. So
And the BZA in particular, they
When do they
actually
meet?
have to send out letters, and the company or the people who are doing this have to pay. And when we don't show up, obviously it's a big black mark, it's a big negative, and not only that, we have to pay to send the letters back out again, because everybody has to be notified multiple times. It's very, very bad, and a hassle, and just bad form to be able to have these people wanting to spend money and do work in town and not being able to get it done.
Jeffrey, what is the schedule for the planning commission as far as?
I think it's the first Monday of every month,
First Thursday.
or the first
So I just sent out-
Thursday of every month.
Okay.
Yeah, first Thursday.
First Thursday.
Yep.
Wow. You hear that?
All right.
So that'd be-
First Thursday of every month.
At 6:30.
Third.
And we know well in advance if we don't have any business, and you're notified by Ben that there won't be a meeting, and he then sends a notice to Bart, who posted, and sends it to the paper. So we don't have, in a normal year, we don't have 12 meetings.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you we wouldn't in this year, but that's why we set them at the beginning of the year, so we have them advertised, and then if not needed, we cancel.
And then the BZA, that's
That's as needed.
as needed. Okay.
So I do want to make one more comment, and the reason is because I know there was some people that there was some social media posts. I think we were contacted also about sidewalks.
Oh.
I mentioned it earlier, so, and you mentioned it. I don't know if the people aren't here, I don't think, but we certainly acknowledge there's a lot of problems with sidewalks. We have a program that we will contribute the money to pay for the concrete if the homeowner will pay for the labor. They have to hire someone. We don't give them concrete for them to do their own work. You must hire someone, and we've had a number of people do this. We have quite a lot of money left, I think. The RDC contributed 20,000. The town contributed 20,000. I don't know how much of that's left. I'm pretty sure we never got to the RDC money yet.
Yeah, we never.
So there's still money there available to get concrete poured for sidewalks. I would love to get a grant or some kind of thing going on where we could do everything in town. That's just not gonna happen, unfortunately. Not that we won't investigate it, and we have a new company that we're working with engineers, but, we need, any way we can cut the costs. And I will say this, if we get this ready to a grant, there will be a section of sidewalks, significant section of sidewalks on Washington Street that will get replaced as a part of that project. And that, we're gonna be short on money for what we need to do that entire project. So if there's, ways to cut those costs, we're gonna look for them.
The good thing about sidewalks, though, there's like multiple funds we can use, so that's the good
Yeah,
thing.
we have different options. Yeah.
Riverboat, we can even take out that. We upped that from we were gonna do 12,000, we upped it all the way to 50,000 this year. So we got 50,000 in Riverboat.
Oh, really?
We can use, so keep that in
So,
mind.
yeah, we can, so if there's more people that need money to do this and are, willing to do this approach, then we can fund it. We'll find the money to make sure it happens.
So
I will tell you guys, Elvis went and checked on that particular section that Kevin.
South Adams.
And he said it's a tree root that's coming up.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's usually what it is, right? I drove down there too.
Yeah.
So I drove down Madison and
Yeah.
looked at that.
Yeah, so he said that he said unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If we went in and took out all the sidewalks and went to replace them, we'd probably take out a lot of trees in town too to solve the problems, right? So some of that would happen, so.
So I just want to piggyback on that. Is there a list? Can townspeople come up to the water, to
Yeah,
the
there
utility
is.
office and get a list of people who?
We don't get a list, they apply
Right.
by
No-
getting their name
go-
on
and
it.
we go
Right,
down the
but I'm
list.
saying like,
Talking contractor?
yeah, like who they
Oh,
would
a list
hire.
of contractors?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we don't
I mean,
wanna do that.
The contractor's really up to them.
Yeah, they have to hire them. We can't take responsibility for the contractor. Greg's talking down here. That's why we don't do that anymore. There was a time when we did that, and it's a bad idea legally to take that responsibility when we're not paying for it.
Yeah.
So we don't want to have that responsibility. The homeowner needs to pay that person and have the responsibility to get that job done well. What? Yeah, Google it, right. There's lots of contractors around. I mean, I bet I can name 5 concrete contractors
brother-in-law.
around that do wonderful
Brother,
work,
that's
really
a
nice
concrete
work.
guy, right? He's a union carpenter, he's awesome.
All right,
JP Construction.
we don't need a motion to adjourn, right?
I don't know if anybody else has anything.
Anything else? Oh, yeah, Bruce, sorry.
We had a resignation, we need to fill it.
Oh.
We've got probably 3 openings
Yeah.
that we need.
Yeah,
to
do
get.
we have any
We
job
have-
descriptions?
We have a meeting scheduled with
Yeah.
Imani next week, so.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get these job descriptions. We need to get,
I mean,
we need to open some,
we have job descriptions, especially for water and wastewater,
Right.
because I have those from when our apprentices were going through the
right,
program.
right.
They
Okay.
had to have a job description to apply for their licensing, so I have that part. I do have a resume that was turned in as a licensed.
I would like to call that
A water
person and just
operator, yes.
acknowledge that we got it
Yep.
and talk to them and say,
Okay.
we're gonna go into a process, we'll include you in that, we're gonna do some interviews.
And then there was another gentleman that was recommended to us that put in his resume. He's more than willing to do either the water or the wastewater program. So
Okay.
he put his resume in. So we've had a few people that have just sent resumes. Even we haven't posted anything, obviously, because we were waiting. But we do have a few people that have sent some resumes in. So
Let's get those, I think, let's get those posted for the water and
Okay.
for the team member, I forget the
Yeah.
terminology there. but-
we have wastewater. We have an opening at the wastewater plant and at the water.
Oh,
plant
yeah,
both,
right,
so,
right. So let's get those posted.
And plus,
Plus an additional,
Elvis moved too, right? So that backfill his position at the cemetery.
it's our-
well,
But I mean, it's,
yeah, we're not backfilling that. That's
Yeah.
temporary. That's a temporary
Yeah.
position. So,
well, I
about
mean,
the
no, I
position
mean,
he
I'm
had?
talking about where Joe.
oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking about where, temporary,
Yes.
with Joe no longer being
And
here.
then-
He filled his position, so
Yeah.
it
Correct,
left his
I
full-time
got you.
position, yeah.
So we have at
And then
least
there's
3,
another.
maybe 4 positions to fill. I also want, make sure we get, and I'll be glad to maybe try to meet with these people if you let me know when it is. Because I think we need, with Randy already having a retirement date set, we need a new manager that's able to be around for a few years and get used to our systems. And
Right.
so let's
Okay.
look for that person also.
Okay.
Anyone else? No, thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, that's.
Okay,
good.
thank you all. We're
That's
adjourned.
important.